Hello internet users. You know what's fun? Super Mario. Good old Mario is perhaps the most iconic video game character in history, and by now has been featured in more games than any other character. As many know, the lovable Italian has built up a huge and dedicated fan base over the years. And of course, with such a huge following and major presence in the video game scene, it should come as no surprise that many Mario fan games have graced the world with their presence. These fan games have been around for a long time, many of them usually developed by a single person in their room, just trying to make something for fun. The amount of people wanting to create their own Mario fan game is so high, you could even argue that it had a hand in leading to the development of Super Mario Maker. Nowadays though, with the advancement of technology and easier access to game-making software, we're seeing more fan games of many different series circulating through the internet than ever before. Well, maybe less Nintendo ones because they keep taking down all of them, but you get what I mean. Naturally, while there are definitely some good fan games out there, the unfortunate truth is that there are far more bad ones. Last time we took a look at some bad fan games of Sonic the Hedgehog, and now today we're finally going to be taking a look at the subject you've all been demanding I cover for a while now. Terrible Mario fan games. The first game we're going to look at is called Hotel Mario 6. I can only imagine that the 6 is short for 666 because this is apparently a .exe type of fan game. For those of you that have never heard of these, you're not missing much. They're all pretty much the same thing. Just move to the right of the screen for a while, a picture pops up, and something spooky will happen to your computer. Mostly in the form of a creepy readme or image file appearing in the game's folder. In the case of Hotel Mario 6 though, what the game does is flicker this picture in and out on my desktop, while repeatedly opening and closing the disk bay on my computer. This was just plain annoying instead of scary. I had to open up the task manager to force the game to close and stop doing it. Well, hey there, it's a sad Goomba. What's wrong there, buddy? Okay. These type of games used to be pretty popular with Let's Players a few years back, after the Sonic.exe fan game came out. And like the one I'm playing now, the majority of them can be finished in only a couple of minutes. Honestly though, I don't really see the appeal of them. If you're going to try and scare me, you're gonna have to do a lot more than flash an image with a scream sound clip. Or maybe that's just me. Our next game on the list is called Mario & Luigi Boss Rush. This one was made with RPG Maker, and is incredibly similar to the Sonic ones I played on the last fan games video. Aside from using the same engine, this game also has you fighting boss after boss without any story or explanation for what is even going on. I have to give this game a little credit though. The biggest difference from the Sonic games is that right from the start, you can choose any 3 other characters to add to your party, before you actually begin the boss rush. Naturally, I went with the classiest team I could think of. Mario, Naked Mario, Bowser Jr., and a Chain Chomp. Unfortunately though, you quickly learn that most of these characters are just carbon copies of each other in terms of stats and skills. Now you could probably argue that it makes perfect sense for Naked Mario to be the exact same character as regular Mario, but how does Chain Chomp make sense? I'm not even exaggerating, outside of their names, all 3 of them were essentially the same character without a single difference. As for the gameplay itself, it gets old fast. There's no strategy to many of the fights, and I quickly just found myself mashing the basic attack command to get through more quickly. As soon as you beat one boss, you're immediately thrown into the next one. Eventually I ended up at one where none of my attacks or skills could even hit it. There was literally nothing I could do besides wait for it to chip away at my health and kill me. At that point I just gave up on playing. Since you get no opportunity to save between battles, you'll have to start from the beginning if you die. Even if there was a walkthrough out there for this, I highly doubt that I'm ever going to play it again. Moving on to the next game, we have Five Nights at Mario's. And well, do you even need me to say anything? Just look at it. It's horrendous. It looks like every single asset in this game was made with the oval and rectangle shape tools. I guess according to the game's webpage, this is supposed to be a parody of Five Nights at Freddy's and Mario, but I don't really get it. Is the joke that the game is supposed to look like crap? Because it just seems like this is how this person makes things look in their games. I honestly can't tell here. Other than the visuals, this more or less just plays like a really bad version of the first Five Nights at Freddy's game. Except instead the enemy characters are for some reason animatronic versions of Mario characters? I wish I could tell you what the story of this fan game is, but I can't hear or understand the voice on the phone call at the start of the first night.
Welcome to your first night shift from Mario's Pizza Renting. Yeah, sorry.
I think you get the idea, this one isn't very good. You know, after those last 3 games, I have got the worst taste in my mouth, and I seriously need to get rid of it. Let's look at something a little better for the next game. This one is called Mario Combat, and boy does it live up to its name. Forget jumping on enemies to defeat them, this time Mario has to beat the crap out of the Koopas the old-fashioned way. This is actually a pretty cool game. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up with just a tad of platforming added. The sound effects are meaty and it feels incredibly good to land hits. The custom animations also look surprisingly good for matching with the Super Mario World sprites. Sadly though, for as much as I like this, what you've just seen is pretty much it. The game is really short and won't take you more than 10 minutes to beat. And aside from the Bowser boss fight at the end, the only enemies are just Koopas. If anything, this game feels more like a demo or proof of concept. The only bad thing I can really say about it is that it leaves me wanting so much more from it. I've been told that there was a sequel or expanded version of this, but I haven't been able to find it anywhere. It wouldn't surprise me if the reason for that, though, is because Nintendo had it taken down. Let me know in the comments if you happen to have any details on that. Up next, we have something called Nintendo Nightmare. The game begins with an alien UFO appearing? Okay. And what in the heck is going on here? Not even a minute in, and already both my eyes and ears are in complete pain. What was this game programmed in? Microsoft Paint? So I guess what I'm supposed to do is first head to Peach's castle to see what those aliens are up to? Once there, I shoot my way past them, end up attacked, and then I wake up in some sort of secret base here where I get more exposition. That's right, this game has a plot. I don't know how it got away with that one either. Lego Luigi informs me that the worlds of different Nintendo games have become mixed together, and that's why everything currently looks like a Steam Greenlight survival game. This has to be one of the weirdest things I've ever played in my life. I'm not even sure what to make of it. One moment I think I know what I'm doing, and the next I'm suddenly a Pikmin and the slave of this green mushroom thing. Oh, look at that! Bringing pellets back to the ship actually produces more Pikmin. This is kind of fun. And look at these little fellas, aren't they just adorable? I'm gonna call this one Ronald, this one Paul, and this one Jimbo. Well, that was a fun day of being a Pikmin. I wonder what fun adventures await me tomorrow. Wait, what's going on? Oh my god, the blue Pikmin are attacking. They're killing everyone. We gotta get the hell out of here. And then I turned back to normal and returned to what I was doing before that happened. I don't know what in the world that was about, but I think it's going to be a while before I ever play Pikmin again. To be fair though, by the creator's own admission, this game is actually supposed to be bad. And quite honestly, the game actually works pretty well like this. Everything is so outrageous and over the top that I just want to keep going to see what will happen next. I can't really do this game justice by continuing to show bits and pieces of it. We'd probably be here all day if I did anyway. I highly recommend checking it out for yourself and experience all of its insanity the way it was intended. Now let's move on to another game. Five Nights at Mario's 2. It's the same thing as the first one, just with the number 2 in the title. The next game is called Mario's Jumping Exercise. I'm just gonna hit new game here and see what this one is all about. Mario, you're fat. Well, it's time for some exercise. Not since A Tale of Two Cities have I seen such powerful opening words. After that brief exchange, we're tossed into the gameplay. Yep, this is it. You just continuously press jump to make Mario jump. Nothing ever happens no matter how much you jump, and selecting the second option just ends the game. Well, at the very least, the game is exactly what it says it is. No grand adventure, no kart racing with all of his friends, just exercising. Personally though, I'm already looking forward to the various sequels and spin-offs this will no doubt spawn. How about Mario does his taxes, or Mario goes to the fridge to get a glass of milk? Pre-order now and get the exclusive chocolate milk DLC. Moving on, we now have a game called Mario Remix Boss Edition. This one is actually pretty interesting. It's a flash game that has you take on many famous and iconic boss fights from different games, while playing as Mario. Which of course means you have to kill everyone by jumping on their heads. Clearing fights earns you coins, which you can use to purchase items to help make other bosses a little more easier. There is also a huge list of bosses to choose from, with more becoming unlocked as you progress, and even a few original ones that use familiar characters. But wait a second, I thought we were talking about bad fan games here. This one seems pretty good. Man, you're right, this one is a really fun game. Just let me play this for a bit. Did you not just see the other crap I had to play through? One thing you need to know is that this game is pretty hard. You may have infinite lives, but some of these bosses can be brutal. As much as I like this game, the hit detection can feel really weird at times. But don't let any of that discourage you. For a Flash game made in 2008, it still holds up today and is definitely worth checking out. Alright, back to the bottom of the barrel. Five Nights at Mario's 3. It's still bad. Next is something called Mario Craft. To be fair, this isn't a finished game, but what's there is still pretty bad. Somebody wanted to combine Mario and Minecraft, and the result is this mess that is actually making me sick from looking at it. You know you've messed up when even the jumping is broken in your Mario game. The final game is called Mario and Sonic: Revenge of the Deadly Six. Because the fan games of these two just weren't bad enough on their own, we're gonna throw them together. Hitting new game, we're greeted with a bit of exposition here, and then, oh, a cutscene. I wonder what this is all about.
That pesky blue hedgehog will pay for what he did to my brothers. After he beat us at Lava Mountain, he dropped our leader into a pool of lava, and so are too. Xena, Master Zik, and Zoomon have gone too. Luckily, I escaped from the Losex after Sonic bait me. Without my brothers and Xena, I am nothing!
Okay, what did I just get myself into? So there is an entirely voiced cutscene at the start here where all of the visuals are presented in the form of a Windows Movie Maker slideshow. I'm not even sure how to react. I genuinely was just not prepared for this. I don't even have any more jokes here, just listen to it.
Yes, it is I.
You're alive! I thought you fell into a pool of lava!
I did, but a dark being brought me back into the light.
So these Sonic villains start talking about some evil plan to take out Sonic, I think? I can't even understand what the characters are saying in some places. So after that, we're suddenly with Sonic and friends who are up to some wacky everyday shenanigans.
Well, I have invented a couple new things, such as this, my voice-activated smoothie maker. You just say what kind of smoothie you want, and the machine makes a smoothie of your choice out of molecules of thin air.
Neat. Can I have a mango smoothie?
Just give it 10 seconds.
Okay, so near the end of the cutscene, we see Sonic and Mario watching TV together, while reminiscing about the times they spent together at the Olympic Games. And finally, we actually get to some gameplay. Although, there's not much to say for this part. You just kinda move somewhere, some dialogue happens with characters, and then... Wait, another cutscene? Yeah, this cycle pretty much repeats itself over and over. There really isn't much in the way of gameplay for this. Say, how many cutscenes do you think are in this game? Oh my god. So apparently this game is actually an adaptation of a quote-unquote movie, and all the cutscenes in the game are directly taken from it. And I'm sorry, but I just can't play any more of this. It just goes on, and I can only take so much here. It's a feature-length fanfic made up of random Google image search results. Can you blame me? And oh, come on, that one has subtitles on it. Why would you use it? To conclude this video, let me just say this. In all honesty, I'm sure that everyone involved with this put a lot of work into it and had a lot of fun doing it, and I can respect that. Really, I can. And by showing this, I'm not trying to say that they or the creators of anything else I've talked about today should be swarmed with negativity and told to never make anything again. But that being said, when you make something and release it for anyone in the public to view or play, you have to accept that they have just as much of a right to criticize as you do to put whatever you want into your creation. And I think I'm okay with never playing any of these again.